NCBA offers hands-on stockmanship and stewardship training at regional events all around the country. There are also valuable cattle handling demonstrations each year at the Cattle Industry Convention. Kate Maher caught up with Texas cattleman and stockmanship expert Todd McCartney to get his take on this important topic.
Thanks, Kevin. Today we have the great opportunity to talk to Todd McCartney, a West Texas cattleman and really an industry expert in the area of stockmanship and stewardship and cattle handling. Todd, I've seen you work cattle a lot, and I always learn something new. One of the great opportunities that cattlemen and women have here at the Cattle Industry Convention is to watch you and Dean Fish and others practice some cattle handling. What's so great about these sessions for cattlemen and women?
Well, I don't call myself an expert, but I sure surround myself with good men and women that handle cattle well, and it's become a focus, been a passion of mine for a bunch of years to get better at it. So here at convention, we're going to be doing things for the next few days right here in this arena in the trade show, where we talk about handling cattle with a BQA mindset, because good stockmanship lays the groundwork on the ranch for good BQA principles, believe it or not, right? And being good stewards of those cattle. And we're going to talk about gathering cattle, because we say on the ranch how the gather goes, the day goes. We're talking about getting those cows and calves up and heading toward the pens with them and doing it in a manner that's their idea. So when we get to the pens, that cow working goes better. We're going to talk about hauling cattle, and so it's not just ram, cram, and get them on a truck or get them on a trailer, but do it in a manner that they step on that trailer and then they ride that way, calm and easy, all the way to their next destination. That's good stewardship. That's good BQA principles. We're going to talk about working them through different types of facilities. A tub, a bud box, the old V crowd that we still all have at ranches around the country. And yes, those facilities are great, but really it's how you work them. You have to have the skill sets. So we're here sharing those.
Todd, as you've done these type of events all across the country, you've probably seen cattlemen that have 20 head all the way up to 20,000 head. At the end of the day, they're all part of the beef supply chain. What's your message to them on how cattle handling can help them?
I don't know of an operation, a 2-head operation or a 20,000 head operation, and there's both, and they're here, right? And we see them around the country. I don't know of anyone that wouldn't be benefited with their cattle handling better, right? Because ultimately they're all going to go into the food chain. And so that end user needs to be top of mind to us, because ultimately we're feeding them. And when they quit choosing beef as a protein source, we're in trouble. So when we think about cattle handling, when we think about good stewardship, it is all focused on the end consumer. And those principles make a difference that we please our customer.
You're absolutely right, Todd. And the good news is this year we have the opportunity to take this type of demonstration across the country with the Stockmanship and Stewardship Tour and regional events. I've been to several. I learn something new every time.
Well, a big thanks to Maher Animal Health, because they stepped up and said, we believe in this initiative, we want it to continue, and they are sending us across the country. And 4 dates have already been booked strategically across the United States. So here's a chance. We give little snippets of it here, but it's kind of like taking a sip from Niagara Falls. I mean, there's just so much there. You walk away going, but if you can go to a 2-day event and see the demonstrations more than once and get more thorough with it, then there's some principles that go back home with you, as well as maybe having your hired hand with you, or your spouse with you, or a son or a daughter, and then it becomes more of a team effort when you leave. We see that happening at those events, and it's really special.
That is a great point, that it's really a learning opportunity for the whole operation. One last question. You mentioned BQA a while ago. Why is it so important to the industry that producers get BQA certified, and is it hard to do?
Beef quality assurance, right? It's not a one and done kind of thing. There's so many components of it. And we see where stockmanship can lay the foundation for it. If you don't care enough about that old cow to handle her correctly and get her through working where her stress is down and it was her idea, if you're not even at that point with her, then a lot of the other things, needles and injection site areas and all that other stuff, might not be as important, but the fundamentals of how we interact with that cow, how I interact with my family, dictates really my whole perception of what I do with my family, right? And how I care for them. So if I'm on the fundamental and the ground level of how I handle those cattle, they matter to me, their stress level being down matters to me, then I think a lot of things in BQA start to click, make sense, and gain more importance.
Great points. And Todd, really want to thank you for bringing all this information to producers. It's so important that we all have it. Thank you for your time. As Todd mentioned, there'll be regional stockmanship and stewardship learning opportunities across the country this year. You can learn more at stockmanshipandstewardship.org, and please go to bqa.org to get BQA certified.